Hi guys, and welcome back to another championship prediction video. Last weekend I got one score correct, and it's quite funny. It was Preston drawing 0-0 yet again against Cardiff. Preston they've scored one goal in their first 6 games, conceded none. So 5 0-0 draws. It's crazy what's going on there. I don't understand it. But that was the score I got correct. I stuck with that pattern and thought 0-0, and it paid off. So happy with that one. Before we get into my predictions, make sure to hit the like button. Let's aim for 10 likes on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss another prediction video. Let's get into my predictions. Starting off with Blues taking on Norwich, and I've got no hope. Blues, we lost our last 2, both against newly promoted sides. A 1-0 loss against 10-man Wigan and a 2-0 loss against Rotherham. Not good enough. I think this is the season we go down after those few performances because we have no creativity at all. We can't defend from set pieces. It's awful. Norwich, on the other hand, didn't start too great. You know, their first 3 games they picked up a point and everyone was sort of thinking, have we got a different championship Norwich this season? But no, they are back at it. 3 wins in a row, 4th in the league, and I think there's another win here. Norwich to win 2-0. Burnley take on Millwall next, and Burnley, they've started to find the back of the net. 8 goals in 2 games, a 3-3 draw with Blackpool, and a 5-1 win against Wigan. They can score. Sadly for them, 8 goals in 2 games wasn't enough for 2 wins because they couldn't defend their lead against Blackpool. But it's positive that they can now score at will. They just need to start defending a bit better, and plenty of points will come their way. They're up against the Millwall side that have lost 2 in a row. The last one against Reading. And Reading hadn't won an away game all season. And Millwall had won all of their home games. So I thought Millwall would win. But the Championship throws up another surprise. Reading get a 1-0 win. And for this one, I've got to go with Burnley. I think they are, they're at it now. They're starting to get the goals. But defensively, don't seem all there yet. So Burnley to win 2-1. Cardiff take on Luton next. And Cardiff are the latest team to fall victim to Preston's goalless superpowers. Whatever's going on at Preston, I don't know. But it's pretty weird. 1 goal in 6 games. Pretty unheard of. I know it is the first time that no one's conceded this many goals. That no one's conceded a goal in, I think it was 4 games in the Championship. Now they've done 6. Something weird's going on. I don't know. But Cardiff at home this season, they've only scored 2, conceded none in their 3 games, and they've came out, with 2 1-0 wins and a draw. So 7 points out of 3 games. Very good at home from Cardiff. They're up against a Luton side that really struggled at the start of the season, but a few weeks ago they went to Swansea, won 2-0 away, good result. Then they drew against Sheffield United at home, another good point there on the board. So Luton seem to have found a bit of a rhythm maybe. But for this one, I think I'm going to go with the fact that Cardiff are quite good at home. Luton are starting to improve. So I sort of see them matching each other and, equaling each other out 1-1. QPR up against Hull now. And QPR, they aren't really showing any signs of being better at home or away. 4 points at home, 4 points away. You can't really figure them out. They don't seem consistent either way. But they did get a good 3-2 victory over Watford. Hull also with a 3-2 victory in their last game against Coventry. Very, very good result again. And Hull are doing well. They're 3rd in the league at the moment after 6 games, which I don't think many people would see coming. Whether they can keep that up, I'm not so sure. They're very good at home. haven't won away yet, so maybe that's going to feed into what I think this result will be. And I'm going to do it QPR to win 2-1. Very interesting matchup next. Sheffield United versus Reading. Now Sheffield United, unbeaten since opening day, so 5 games in a row where they haven't lost, and they've played 3 at home this season and won them all. They are very, very good at home. We knew that from last season, and they've carried it through to this season. This is a real test for Reading, but if they can get something out of this, I think they'll be okay this season, because Reading have started well at home. They'd won all of their home games, lost 2 of their away. They're only 2 away games, and then they came up against the Millwall side that had won all of their home games. So you kind of expected it to go Millwall's way. Reading came out with a 1-0 win, their first away points of the season. And I'm wondering whether they're going to potentially nick something here, but I just don't see it. I think Sheffield United are so strong at home, and they've got so much more quality in their team, that Sheffield United will win it 1-0. Wigan versus West Brom. And Wigan, they'd started pretty well, 3 draws in a row, and then a victory over Birmingham. That's a good start for a newly promoted side. Then they did lose 5-1 to Burnley. Whether that's going to, knock their confidence, put them into a bit of a bad pattern, I'm not sure. We'll get to see now if they can bounce back. Against the West Brom side that had only managed 3 goals in their first 4 games, but have since scored 7 in the next 2, coming away with 4 points, a 5-2 victory over Hull, and a 2-2 draw with Huddersfield. West Brom, I think, now that they've started to find the back of the net, they've also started to concede more, but I think they will start to get into a bit more of a rhythm and start climbing up the table. So for this one, I think West Brom are going to win it 2-0. 2 firsts here as Watford take on Middlesbrough. Watford lost their first game at the weekend. And it's quite strange because it was the first time that they've scored more than 1 goal in a game this season, yet they lost it, and it was the only one they've lost, 3-2 against QPR. Middlesbrough picked up their first win, 2-1 over Swansea. Whether that's going to kick them into a bit of form, I'm not sure. But for me, I think Middlesbrough seem quite hard to beat. Watford don't seem full of goals. I'm going to go down the middle here, 1-1. Bristol City against Huddersfield next. And Bristol City, they are unbeaten in 4, drew 3-3 against Blackpool in their last match. Huddersfield, they drew 2-2 against West Brom, and it's only the 2nd time this season that they haven't lost the game. So they have had quite a poor start. Bristol City, I think, they've got a lot of goals in them. It's whether they can keep them out. And I think for this one that they will manage to. So Bristol City to win it 2-1. Coventry take on Preston next. Now Coventry, they've lost their last 2 games, both 3-2. They've obviously only played away games so far this season, so this is their first home game. But it's against Preston, so I'm not sure we need much more analysis. I'm going to go for it again because, well, one, I kind of want it to happen because it's quite funny. So why not 0-0? The next fixture is Stoke versus Swansea. And Stoke, they picked up their 2nd win of the season, and it came after they sacked O'Neill, the first manager to go this season, and they get a 1-0 win against Blackburn. So good result. They have since replaced him with Alex Neil, so they seem to like people with Neil in their name, from Sunderland. Quite a surprising move. I would have thought that he'd want to stay at Sunderland, but there must be some reason why he wanted to go to Stoke. Not sure, but he did it. And Stoke, they're up against a Swansea side that are all over the place. Don't know what's going on with them. They've lost 2 in a row. They've only managed 1 win this season, And I expected a lot from them at the start of the season. I think they've got a pretty good team, a good manager, a good identity. You know, they've got a way of playing football, which not too many teams seem to have at this level. But maybe that's just because I'm a Blues fan, by the way, and we don't have an identity. But, you know, Swansea, I expected a lot more. They're struggling. For me, I see another clean sheet on the cards and Stoke to win it 1-0. Two newly promoted sides meet as Sunderland take on Rotherham. Sunderland have had, you know, a pretty good start. They did pick up their second loss of the season at the weekend, but it was against Norwich, and their other loss was against Sheffield United. So you'd expect them to be losing games like that, considering they've just came up. Other than that, they've been good. Rotherham, unbeaten, managed to get their second win of the season, 2-0 against Blues at the weekend. Very disappointing from a Blues perspective, but we didn't create anything. Rotherham were the better side. They deserved all 3 points. So fair play to Rotherham. They've really had, you know, a good start to this season. Can they continue? Can they stay unbeaten? I'm not sure. I'm thinking that the Stadium of Light, and I say this every time, is going to have, you know, a good atmosphere. They've always got a good home atmosphere. And I think that's sort of going to be the 12th man for Sunderland and get them over the line against this Rotherham side. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Rotherham took something from it because they've started very, very well. I'm going to back the home side here. Sunderland to win 2-1. And finally, Blackpool take on Blackburn. Blackpool, you know, they've been quite patchy, but their last 2 games have both been 3-3 draws. Quite a strange result to have twice in a row. Well, a strange score to have twice in a row, but 2 3-3 in a row. Blackburn, very weird. They won their first 3 games and they look so good, but then they've lost their next 3. So what are they doing? What's going to happen next, sort of? Is it time for their first draw? Are they going to get 3 in a row? I don't know about 3 in a row, but I am going to go for the draw. Tempted to go 3-3 again just because, but I can't do that. If it happens, I'll be very surprised. I'm going to go 1 less. 2-2. So, those are my predictions for these championship fixtures. Make sure to get your predictions down in the comments. I'll leave a fixture list in the description, so just copy that, paste it into the comments and fill in your scores. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss another prediction video.